Hello, I'd like to introduce John Fisher, and he's been talking to me about various techniques and things that I've been using with PCP, but I know that he's very keen on one particular one. So John, I wonder if you could tell us a bit about how you use Tschudi's ABC technique.
Certainly, Helen, and thank you for the chance. I find that Finn's ABC technique is probably the best resistance to change identifying technique I've come across. And as you rightly say, I've done hundreds of them now, both on a one-to-one basis and in groups to explore groups and how they see change. To describe it quickly and easily, it's just a simple three-line technique where line A is where you are now and where you want to be. So you've got the current state and the desired state, and then the line below that, line B, you look at what are the negatives, what are the cons about where we are now. So what's the argument for change? And on the other side, you've got what are the advantages of the future statement. So this is where we're going to. Now, for me, most change sort of methodology stops there. It assumes that we all want to change and everything's going to be good about change. And what the really clever thing I think Finn did, and the really innovative thing, was he says, well, hang on a minute. If we're changing, we're leaving something behind, we're losing something. So what's actually been good about where we've been? What are the positives about that? And by the opposite token, what will we miss when we move to the new world? So what are the negatives? What are the disadvantages about the new state? And for me, and in my experience, if that last line is more powerful, stronger, than the line showing the advantages for change. People never change. Now, what I've done with that as well is a slight add-on to that, because I'm quite a fan of the scoring 1 to 10s, where 1 is no and 10 is definitely you can't stop me type. And I get people to give a score to all of the statements that they've come up with, and they literally just brainstorm those advantages and disadvantages in the 4 boxes, really, under the desired and present states. So by scoring them, they can get an idea of strength. So you're almost using Lewin's force field analysis in a way of identifying how strong those drivers are.
Oh, it sounds a good idea, that.
Really is, and just so powerful. I've used it with group of engineers, group of manufacturing operational people. So I've used it across a broad range. And in one noticeable example, I had some shop floor foremen, or actually leading charge hands, and their site was earmarked for closure, or their site, they thought their site was earmarked for closure, because the company was actually opening up a new manufacturing plant overseas. And so as part of an overall change day, preparation for change, I got them in small groups to look at the arguments for and against the new site opening overseas. And almost to a person, they realised that the new overseas plant was going to save their current site and help them move forwards and develop and grow, because the site they were on didn't have the capacity. So it really was for them a game changer that ended up with not only 4 or 5 years later is that site still open, but a lot of that group of people have actually gone overseas to help set up, help train the locals, and actively became supporters of it because they saw the full picture. So really love it as a technique.
That's a really powerful example you just quoted of using it with larger groups of people.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
it's really terrific.
Thank you.